Well, Christmas is behind us. Wow, we had an interesting Christmas here in Nashville. We'll talk about it next on Pastor Bob's Coffee Break. One of my Christmas presents from my niece, Jessie. Isn't that the coolest mug? It's a moose. It's got, a jacket on it. Pretty cool. I named him Mickey Moose. Pretty cool, huh? Because like I said last week, because every mug needs a jacket. This is an important thing. Cool mug. Well, Christmas Day, I woke up and was ready to prepare for Christmas. And instead we woke up to the news that a bomb had gone off in the middle of Nashville. And of course my heart sank because that's where we feed the homeless. We're involved so much down there, and we all the information was kind of slow in coming, and we were freaking out a little bit. And then we found out the location, 2nd Avenue, and that's where we feed, on 2nd Avenue. And but it was a couple blocks up, and still devastation. Such an iconic street there in Nashville. It's the street. All the oldest buildings, all the coolest buildings. They've preserved them all these years, and some of the coolest restaurants and clubs and boutiques and whatever, and just such a cool place. Devastated, structurally unsound now, and it looks like a war zone. And of course, as if we haven't had enough trauma, this year, the tornado at the beginning of the year, and then the coronavirus, and now this. It's been a tough year for Nashvillians, and especially for our homeless friends. And the places that they generally go to get warm during the day, the library, whatever, and the streets are where they live, and especially that area. And thank God that they weren't there. One of the guys that's been eating with us for years camped out about 2 blocks from, well, not even 2 blocks, maybe a block from there. And of course, he weathered the whole thing. And it just hit really close to home, literally. So it's been trauma, and thank you, all of you who have been sending in finances. We really need them. And I rarely talk about that on this show, but it's not for me. It's for our folks on the streets, and if you can help, that would be awesome. The PayPal link is below. So, folks, it's countdown to the new year, and I don't know about you, but I'm really, really ready to leave 2020 behind. And I'm excited for the new year as we count down just a few days. In this podcast, we're going to count down. And we're going to count down to the brand new year. And a brand new Pastor Bob's Coffee Break. You'll see everything behind me change, our logo, our intro, everything as we approach season 2. And I'm excited for that. Some great ideas, and again, answering your questions. So, countdown to the new year. We're getting excited. And I want to go to Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21. And there are several verses in the Bible that I call, as you know, but verses. They're but verses. This and this, but this. We're really used to but things. When your parents say, well, you can continue to do that, but I'm not going to change my mind. You can continue to throw that tantrum, but it's not going to do any good. Well, there are some verses like that in the Bible. You can do this and this, but This is the truth. This is what's going to happen. And Proverbs 19:21 is a but verse. And here it is in the Amplified Bible. It says, many plans are in a man's mind. You know, we have all kinds of plans. I woke up Christmas morning planning for something very different than what actually happened. Yeah. You think you have a plan, but plan B. And our days are like that. Many days are like that. This day could be one of those. Many plans are in a man's mind, but there we go. It is the Lord's purpose for him that will stand, that will be carried out. You can have all kinds of plans, and that's okay. But God's purpose, if you follow him and if you rely on him, trust in him, cling to him, believe in him, his purpose will stand. His purpose will be carried out. I like this in the Message commentary. It says, we humans keep brainstorming options and plans, and that's me. I got so many options. I have so many plans for the new year. I can't wait to tell you about some of them. They're huge. They really are huge. I believe that I've heard from God in some areas that I didn't expect, and they affect a lot of people, and they're huge, huge. The Message says, we humans keep brainstorming options and plans, and we do. And I love that, and I hope you're one of those that do it. But God's purpose prevails. In the brainstorming and the planning and all of that, and looking at our options, we can do that all we want. And we have security in it, knowing that God's purpose prevails. I can brainstorm all I want, but I know I'm in good hands. The New Living Translation, which is my favorite, and it's the one that we used for the Metal Bible and for my two books, Seriously and Metal Devo. You can make many plans. You can. But the Lord's purpose will prevail. I love that line. The Lord's purpose will prevail. So, we're really good at making New Year's resolutions. We're not so good at carrying them out. Not so good. You know, every year I think, okay, I've got a new resolution. I'm going to lose weight. That was a big one, and I haven't been able to. And you know, and I was a vegan for so many years and vegetarian, those two things. And if anybody should be skinny, it should be me, and just didn't happen. And it wasn't until I ended up in the hospital a couple months ago that I found out why. And been correcting those things. I've lost about 80 pounds so far and still have a little ways to go. I'm getting there. And now I can. And now my efforts, I know how to do it. I just wasn't getting the results. So, and of course, I want to be healthy, and that's number one on my list. But, you know, that was always a New Year's resolution. I'm going to do that. And I didn't realize that it was out of my control because of some factors. But, and you know, there's all these things. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to, you know, this is what I'm going to zero in on. And when you look at your New Year's resolutions, at the end of the year, you think, well, that didn't go well. Well, I've decided that this year we're going to have a New Year's revolution. And we're going to talk about that. It's the theme for our new season. And I'm excited for 2021 because 2021 is going to be the year of revolution. New Year's revolution. And I'm excited. And I know other people use that word when they talk about the new year, but we're going to have fun with it. So folks, plans, God has them. And you know, it's true that all of us want to serve God as an advisor. We want to tell him what to do. We want our plans to take hold, and we want them to stand, and we want that to be the motivating factor. About ready to sneeze. And a lot of folks want to serve God, but only as advisors. We need to step back from that. It's okay to plan. It's okay to dream. It's okay to have a purpose in your mind that you want to go for, but not as an advisor to God, but as possibilities. Think big. God is always thinking bigger, dreaming bigger. You're not an advisor. You're a follower. And aren't you glad for that? Because God's ways are higher and a little more informed than ours. Well, folks, as we say every day, we are blessed. You are blessed. So go and be a blessing.